Festival, gold-plated, wins the Sky Bet Supreme. Blackmore punches the air.
Walking back with this man, Henry Bromhead, who's thanking everyone on the rail, congratulating you. I watched you there as Slade Steele made his move. He was headed, he fought back. I thought you looked remarkably cool.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Yeah. Anyhow, I wasn't.
No, I didn't think you would be, but you did look it.
No,
what were you thinking when he was headed, Henry?
I thought, I hoped he'd battle back, because he just jumped the last a little bit slow, I thought, and hoped we might battle back, and he can be quite idle in front. So, look, delighted for the Atchisons. It's brilliant, and to kick the week off with a winner is amazing. Just brilliant.
The distance, obviously, it seemed initially he was going to go over further. Ballyburn switch, you've switched the other way. Did the rain sort of give you more confidence at the distance, the better the test would suit, did you feel, or not?
Yeah, like he's a classy horse and he has loads of pace. Thanks, man. He has loads of pace. So, because I actually think he'll be better on nicer ground in time as well. But as the guys pointed out, in fairness to them, all the Rob Court team, Ballyburn's beaten us twice, and whatever we do, we probably avoid him. So yeah, it's brilliant. It worked out.
Yeah, and I guess you can't really start the day any better, the week any better. I mean, Calixios has got a live chance in the next. How are you feeling?
Well, look, as I tell everyone, I come over here thinking everything's got a great chance. So, it's very up and down. We'll see, but look, we'll enjoy this. Brilliant to get to win this. We've never won the Supreme, so it's amazing. Yeah.
Great start. What up?
Thanks a million.
What up?
Slade Steele's victory in the Supreme is Rachel Blackmore's first in the race, her 5th in the Cheltenham Festival overall. But I think your most important achievement was just photo-bombing Brian Aitchison with the trophy just there. He was being a bit shy, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's not one for the podiums, but it's great. All his family's here, and a lot of their family and friends, so there's plenty of them up there.
Now, talk me through this. I mean, first of all, that must be a tremendous settler for the rest of the festival, going in the first race.
Oh, sure, it's what every jockey wants to happen if they're riding in the first to get that done. And I knew I had a really good chance coming into the race, and you're just delighted it's happened. And he's a really, really tough horse. I think he's a massive future. He battled back really well after the line, and I think he won with a little bit as well. So, it was a really good performance.
Henry de Bromhead said that he was going to go wherever Ballyburn didn't. So when Ballyburn went to the Gallagher, Slade Steele was here. Were you always confident about this 2 miles here at Cheltenham?
Yeah, I really was, especially after riding him in Leopardstown the last day. Prior to that, I maybe wouldn't have been as confident, but the last day he jumped much sharper. He travelled really well beside Ballyburn. He did things that suggested he would be 100% in a 2 mile race, and I suppose with the ground going the way it was, that was a help as well.
Was he a little bit on his toes initially down at the start and over the first couple of hurdles?
Yeah, he was. He tanked me down between the first and second, but then he relaxed, and he was really relaxed then for the rest of the race. And yeah, he's a dream ride really. He's very straightforward. And
talk me through from the final hurdle to the line in the battle with Mystical Power.
Yeah, I could feel him picking up. I was headed, but I never thought I wasn't going to battle. I knew after 2 strides that I was going to get there again, I think. So, you're just a lot can change between the last hurdle and the line here. So, yeah, you're just willing that line to come to you quick.
He was well on top in the end. He's such a talented horse. What do you think you see him as ultimately? Are we talking about a top-flight hurdler? Are we talking about a chaser? What was the thought all the way along the season?
Oh, look, I think the sky's the limit for him. He's just a very talented horse, and he could be back here on the Friday someday. Yeah, you'd never know.
That would be great to see. Now tell me about the ground. How did he find it, and what was your view of it?
The ground, it was soft there. I didn't think it wasn't very testing, but I'd say we've opened it up now, so it's going to get tougher maybe as the day goes on. But it was soft ground, on the heavy side of soft, I suppose, but it rode nice.
And how about Calixios in the Arkle, ground-wise? Is that going to be fine for him?
Yeah, I think so. I think that will. Yeah, really looking forward to him, so I better go in and get ready.
Well, very best of luck and congratulations on this win. Well done.
Thanks so much. Thanks, Lydia. Thank you.
Mystical Powers ran a huge race, finished second in the Supreme. Mark Walsh was on board. There must have been a moment where you thought, I might have this.
Yeah, he winged the last now. Rachel's horse was slow at the last while I'd winged it, but she just outstayed me up the hill.
He looked calm. He looks like he took the whole proceedings well with that first time.
Yeah, he was very, very relaxed today. He's learning the whole time. It's only his 4th run, so it has to be delighted with him.
And what do you make of the ground? I can see that you're covered in mud. How would you describe it?
If it rode heavy on him, it was probably against him. He wouldn't want it as heavy as that, but it rode heavy, but it's loose, they're getting through it, so at least it's not holding or dead.
Okay, so reasons to be encouraged by that run in the second. With some better ground later on in the season, we might see more for him.
Definitely, and he's improving with every run, so I have to be delighted with him.
Mark, thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
And after 2 seconds, it's going to be third time lucky at the festival. Gaelic Warrior wins the Arkle, Mullins and Townend strike.
Gaelic Warrior's Arkle success is the first winner of what could be a prodigious festival for Willie Mullins, but nice to get one on the board.
Nice to get the yes after the first race. I thought we had it one jumping the last, and then we just got outstayed, but he ran a cracker. And though delighted because in the parade ring I thought he was going to get very upset. He was getting wound up as they went around. Paul got him out on the track and he settled down a good bit, and I think the application of a hood just made him so much easier to ride. Paul couldn't get over. He just said he was a dream ride.
And you schooled him in it and he jumped a bit straighter for it?
He did. Paul just said to me he was brilliant with the hood and he didn't jump right. So I don't know, I wasn't watching the TV. Did he jump right during the race?
A little, but not markedly so.
Yeah, but he settled lovely in behind the horses, rode like a normal horse. So
yes.
that's fantastic.
And great to see Gaelic Warrior being so normal. Tell me about the decision-making process, because up until the not quite last minute, you were juggling with the Arkle, juggling with the Turners. What made you to make the decision?
We were talking about going for the Arkle in Leopardstown, and we changed our mind at the last minute and left him in the 2.5 mile race. And then we just felt, after what happened in the 2.5 mile race, we'll just put the hood on and we'll see what that. So that was good when we schooled him in that at home, and then we thought, Facile Vega could go into the other race, and we always thought he had a little speed, even though we used to run him over 3 miles, but that was because we had other horses for the 2 mile races. Now I think he just found his calling, hasn't he?
Yeah, so I was going to ask you, is this a champion chaser? What could he be?
He looks at a champion chaser. He could be a Ryanair horse, and I mean he has won 3 miles as a novice, like Gallopin de Champs did.
Yeah.
He won the same race. He could be anything, couldn't he?
It must be very professionally satisfying to actually get the Cheltenham Festival win out of this horse. He's a horse that's got such huge talent. To see him put together, that must be very satisfying.
It is, because we've been watching him at home all the time, and we thought, he was nearly a guaranteed Cheltenham winner the last 2 years, and it didn't work out, So now he's done it on a big day in the Arkle. Fantastic.
And I hear that he's been essentially in boot camp for the past few weeks, hasn't he, to sort of make sure that he's ready and primed for this festival.
Yeah, but the whole place is just ready and primed. All the horses are running, even the horses at home, they're all running so well. He's really right, yeah.
And later on today, it is the moment for State Man to step forward and claim that trophy after a season that's gone like clockwork, I think.
Everything has gone eerily well. That's, the whole week. I think I've one horse lame, didn't travel, Joystick. I've one horse out today, Gold Dancer, but everything else has just gone so well, so I better go.
Okay, we're more frightened. We're more frightened now, Willie, but many congratulations, well done.
Thank you very much.
Well, it'll be interesting to find out. I assume you didn't watch it.
No, I didn't. I saw them come up the hill. No, but
it was all over then.
Yeah, Joe said he kept them nice and cool. Didn't jump as right as he can. Hood seemed to have helped, and I haven't seen it yet. Was he good?
He was very, very, very good indeed. He didn't really miss a beat at all. He was just wonderful at every stage, and Paul rode him with great confidence.
Yeah, Joe said that Paul, it's the best he's seen Paul ride a horse in a while. That's not that he's not riding all the time, but just that he's a tricky ride.
Yes, right.
Just a lot of his skill and all that stuff came up, and it was great to see. Well, I didn't see it, but it was great. It was great to hear, and we're delighted to have one. The week's fine now. We've got our winner, so yeah. Great.
And how about that decision from Willie Mullins all the way along? It's would he run in the Turners, would he run in the Arkle? Hood went on, he ran in the Arkle. What was your immediate reaction to that?
I was fine with the Arkle because I thought at Leopardstown, Willie really wanted to run over the 2 miles, and we won that argument and thought he should go over the 2.5. He had form over there at Limerick, and we obviously didn't work out. We were very relaxed about it, and we had a chat in the week, and Willie thought we still wanted to go 2.5. I said, no, I'm very, very relaxed at 2 miles, and he's got that speed and that boot, and it's worked out very well.
It must be very satisfying because you know you've got a horse of huge ability, and it must be frustrating to see him not put it quite together, although he's run well twice at Cheltenham Festivals before. It must have been frustrating, and it must be really rewarding now to actually see him strut his stuff.
Yes, I mean, the right thing to do with him probably was to take him to Punchestown and Ferryhouse, because the right-handed tracks, that kind of thing. But to come here and have that justified, the decision is a wonderful feeling. And he is a horse of immense ability, and he's got his quirks. And we saw him in the parade ring at Leopardstown. He gets a bit mad, but it's wonderful, isn't it?
It really is. I'm so excited to see what he does next. And clearly it was the right decision because he's just won an Arkle. Many congratulations.
Thanks, Lydia.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
Thank you.
Well, the man who's just delivered Gaelic Warrior to victory in the Arkle is Paul Townend. And Willie was just saying, I was saying to you, he ran like a normal horse. Did he ride like a normal horse?
He did actually, yeah. He was very well behaved. Once we got out of the buzz inside here and down the chute, he got a bit anxious on the way down. But once we got cantering away, he behaved himself. And he was actually a pleasure to ride today. So you kind of go out with plans and things, but you never know with him.
Was that plan A that you just executed?
I think so. We had so many of them, we just weren't sure. It went pretty smooth. Sam was always going to go forward probably, and if we could just get in a rhythm behind him, we were going to try and do that, and we did. And he jumped really well, and the ground is testing, so that brought in his stamina.
Yes, and the presence of Sam and Matata was likely going to make your job easier, and so it proved.
Yeah, once he behaved himself, and we didn't get in a race with Matata early on, and he did. So yeah, the hood I think helped him, and as we said, brilliant. Like some training performance from Willie. As anyone that doubted him would be a fool to bring him back from Dublin Racing Festival for a performance like that.
Yeah, he was much more agitated, wasn't he, in the Dublin Racing Festival than him? I know what you mean. He was, every time I saw him going round, he was getting a little bit worse, but it was nothing like Leopardstown.
No, he rode a different horse today, and he produced him on the day as he always does, and the job is just steering him around.
And when he worked in the hood a few days ago, the report was that he jumped straighter. Do you think the hood has actually helped him to jump straighter, or is it the position that you were able to hold in the race?
It definitely didn't harm him anyway. I just thought it pacified him a little bit better at home, but maybe he's just growing up, and he jumped straight at home and he jumped straight today. So I didn't have to get in a row with him with the hood, so I think that helped.
And he's clearly a horse of huge ability. He's done many different things, many different distances. Is he a champion chaser all along?
Oh, yeah, I don't know what he could be. Look, he is the engine there, and you can curb the enthusiasm after that. And he is growing up, and the most important thing is the engine's under the bonnet, and he is like to come here and behave himself was a big day out. Yeah.
And so satisfying. I've spoken to Willie and Rich Ritchie about this. You know you've got this horse with a huge talent. You've brought him to a festival twice, he's finished second. You want him to be able to strut his stuff on the biggest stage, so it must be very satisfying for you as well.
Of course. And he hadn't disgraced himself here. He'd just gotten beat and misbehaved a little bit. So I suppose everything stands to him. He's been here twice, in the mornings. Rachel does a huge job with him. Rachel Robbins, I don't envy it every morning riding him out at home, because when I do get up in him, I hand him back pretty quickly.
But how about the horse you're very much looking forward to ride, your favourite, State Man? I mean, this is his moment to step forward and get his name on the Champion Hurdle Trophy, isn't it?
Hopefully, yeah. Look, everything crossed. Nice to have a winner on board now when we're going out in him and try and do the business.
But everything has gone like clockwork for him all season, hasn't it? And his key asset, as well as being very good, is his straightforwardness. Exactly.
He is very straightforward. Hopefully he will be again today, and it's no walk in the park now. He'll have to turn up and win as well. Yeah. But no, look, everything crossed with that he can run a solid race. Yeah.
Well, very best of luck and congratulations to him.
Thank you.
2 races so far at the Cheltenham Festival, 2 crossbars for Jack Kennedy, 2 really big runs. Firefox third in the Supreme and Founder 52nd in the Arkle. Let's start with the latter one. Talk me through the race.
It just took me a while to get him settled, but once he settled I was happy. Jumped great, went a fraction right at a couple, but no real excuse. Everything went fairly smoothly. Gaelic Warrior was just a better horse on the day.
Yeah, when you moved on, you must have thought, I've still got the danger behind me, haven't I?
Yeah. Just I had kind of got left there. My lad stays, so I didn't want to be slowing him down any bit. But Gaelic Warrior was just better on the day. Yeah.
And Firefox?
Firefox brilliant run. Thought it would have a lot closer, only I got stopped up the straight, so that was disappointing, yeah. But delighted with the way he ran, yeah.
Best of luck for the rest of the meeting.
Thanks.
Chianti Classico and David Bath full bore, and the Ricks are on Chianti Classico. He wins the Ultima.
He's currently talking to the press, and I'm going to burst in rather rudely to celebrate Chianti Classico's win. Kim, I'm so sorry to interrupt, but many congratulations. What was that like to watch?
I mean, hairy, because I spent the first part of the race wanting to see whether Trelawney was okay. And then I looked back and I saw Chianti Classico make a mistake. I thought, oh no, David's getting too brave. But he jumped for fun. He was cantering down the hill, wasn't he?
He really was.
Yeah.
He really enjoyed himself today.
Yeah, David's been confident the whole way through, so he was right.
It wasn't a tricky decision for him at all between the two.
No, he absolutely adamant from day one.
And what was the key to it? I'll ask him himself in a moment. But what did he say to you?
He might say something completely different to me, but no, he was. I mean, he adores the horse, and he says he's a complete terrier, and he's gone and done that today like a terrier. He's as hard as nails. He's not very big, but he's got so much ability and so agile. Always has been.
Now, I know this ground is your kind of conditions, 1995 kind of conditions, but were you worried about it for Chianti Classico?
I watched the first two races and I thought that ground was nothing like as bad as they thought they were going through it. And when Aidan Murphy and I bought him, we always said we'd bring him here, but I never thought it would ever happen.
And that's the second win in the Ultima as well, following Betty's Boy back in 1999. Happy-go-lucky got close. Yeah, we've been knocking at the door for a while, so it was great for everybody. We've got it today, so brilliant. What will it mean for the team at home?
Oh, huge. I mean, come on, it's having a run at Cheltenham. That's all it's all about. So, and the owners are big supporters of racing. Francis Brooke is the King's representative at Ascot, so they're a big steeple of history in the race, which is great for them.
Have you got thoughts on what this horse can now go on to do?
No. Not yet.
Just here?
No, this has been the plan for a long time, and after he ran second at Kempton, we hummed and hard about the Racing Post, and they always said to me, no, Cheltenham is what we bought it for, Cheltenham where we go, and so we trained him for today.
And tell us about the professional partnership that you have with David Bath.
I'm not sure it's that special. We've been trying to get rid of him for ages. We've got nothing in common.
Is that true?
Well, I don't think so. I'm not a vegan anyway. But
it works though, clearly.
It works very well. He's been a huge supporter of the RFA. He's been together for 11 years now, so he's a do-or-die pilot. I thought he was quite reserved today, so yeah, no, brilliant.
Today was a do. Many congratulations.
Thank you very much indeed.
How are you feeling?
It's an amazing feeling. I will be honest, I made the decision pretty quickly to ride him, and then the rain came, and yesterday and this morning I was starting to doubt my decision. And I hope Trelawney's all right. I didn't realise he fell. I hope he's all right because he's a very good horse. And I hope for his connections that he's okay and we can go again next year because he's got so much ability. But I thought I'd made the right decision, and then after I jumped a few, I was confident because he's so straightforward and he loves jumping. And it was just a case of trying not to get there too soon, which I didn't manage to do anyway.
Is that what you were saying in your head?
Yeah, and Paddy was obviously in front of me, and I sort of went past him, and he sort of said, "Go on," and I was like, "I need to try and fill up," and I managed to get to the front and just get a breathe into him, and then just get over the last two, and he had a little peck at the last, but he picked up well, and I think he's won quite well in the end. He's a progressive horse, so exciting.
Yeah, he's young, progressive, exciting. He can go on from this.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, halfway around I was thinking about Liverpool next year. He reminds me of the Last Samurai. He's not very big, but he's on springs when he jumps, and he loves jumping. So he does remind me of the Last Samurai, but I'd love to have a go at that race, but we'll see what happens between now and then.
Well, it's lovely to get a fourth festival success in the meantime. Tell us something about your professional relationship with Kim Bailey, because when I was asking him about it, he said, we've got nothing in common. Is that true?
Yeah, one of the owners said to me on the way in, said that I love a toff. Yeah, I would say there's probably a lot of differences between me and lots of people that I work with and work for, but we put them to one side, and somehow between Kim and the rest of the team and Matt, the assistant, we try and get it right for the big days. And although we've been quiet numbers-wise this season, it's been really frustrating. First Flow won and Does He Know won a big handicap, and we just I've never lost faith in the team to get a good horse ready for the big day.
And you must understand each other after all of this time together. And Kim, presumably, he's straight, isn't he? You know what you're getting.
Yeah, that's maybe why it works. We're very honest with each other, and we sort of, he leads me to it now, and we just leave each other to get on with it, and maybe that's why it works.
Your first success since 2020. What's it like to be back in the winners' enclosure?
Yeah, brilliant. It's been too long. That feeling's the best feeling. Honestly, riding horses here is a privilege. Good horses here is a privilege. But I know how hard it is to win here. I probably should have ridden. I should have ridden more festival winners than I did. I probably should have ridden a couple of winners for Nicky Henson when I was a claimer back quite a few years ago now, and it took me too long to get one on the board. But I know how hard it is to win here, so I really appreciate it.
You still think about those?
Yeah. I think I should have ridden a couple for Nicky, but that's gone. I'm hopefully a different and better jockey now.
Stateman with Constitution Hill absent. Stateman has his day in the sun and wins the Unibet Champion Hurdle.
Well, as we all expected, Stateman has gone one better in the Champion Hurdle and won it for Willie Mullins with Paul Townend on board. How do you assess the performance? It was kind of more workmanlike than
Very
wow.
Workmanlike, yeah. But I think in that ground, you don't want to set a horse alight too early, and that's what Paul was afraid of. One of the things he was afraid of coming down the hill, that if he got racing too early, that maybe Irish Point might outstay him. I don't know. I mean, we think our fellow's a good stayer, but he was very. He didn't want to get racing too early. He just wanted to deliver him when he was ready to deliver him. So he didn't look flashy, and probably horses that maybe you'd think shouldn't be near him finished near him in that ground. A lot of horses were riding for place money, so they had a different agenda. You probably had Irish Point and Stateman, riding to win the race, whereas a lot of the other horses were just there because Constitution Hill didn't turn up.
It was also a steady pace, wasn't it? It's difficult to be flashy in those kind of circumstances.
Yeah, I thought it was. Some people around me were saying it wasn't, but I didn't see the split times yet. But
it's slower than a not very quick Supreme.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And then every horse has bits of speed at the end, and they're able to stay on. Where if it was a more testing gallop, the good ones would just come away from the field. But it never really got to that.
No. The thing about Stateman, though, is that he does find a way to win, bar when he ran into Constitution Hill. Yeah. He is so reliable and so straightforward.
He turns up. He is a hardy horse. There's very ever anything wrong with him, and that's worth anything. We've so many good horses at home who are fragile. When you look at Verney Hollow and then Energumene went out. The amount of horses, they're like footballers, they're on the injury list, but when you get this fellow, if he was playing football, I'd say he'd be playing in every match in the Premiership every Sunday, and he'd be scoring goals too. So
he'd be the linchpin of your team.
He's a solid guy on the team,
Yeah, absolutely. And so do you think Cheltenham brings out the best in him?
Probably not. He seems to be better on nicer ground in Ireland, but maybe I never really worried about that before, but on his last two runs you might think not. But we were very happy that we had him in a way better position this year than we had last year. I just thought he'd improved. I thought his second last run in Leopardstown was better than anything he ever did, and so the horse got stronger himself this year and matured.
And next up, we've got a mare who might be taking him on this time next year, potentially in Lossiemouth.
It's tough. I mean, she won the Triumph Hurdle. Those Triumph Hurdle winners usually go out in trips, so 2.5 miles shouldn't be any problem to her. It is very heavy ground. Is that going to be a problem? I don't know, but she should have plenty of stamina. So we're fingers crossed things go well here.
Although you were quite free with the hoods for this first day, you didn't put one on her. She did get lit up at one point in the Triumph Hurdle last year, but she was sort of carried out at one point. Did you put it down to that?
I debated it. I asked Paul, would he prefer a hood on her because of that incident last year, but he said no, he was quite happy that she was nice and placid and he'd be fine with her.
Okay. So. And of her stable companions, which one might give her the biggest shock, do you think?
I don't know, Ashrow Diamond, might.
with her?
She's improving all the time. Yeah, Gallimore Stone, you'd have to put a line through her performance the last day in Punchestown. But she's capable of running a good race after she won that race in the Prix Alain de Braille in France last year, and that's their equivalent of the Triumph Hurdle, and that shows she has stamina. Because that race is 2-2, I think, and but it was running very fast ground that day. So, but she's here and she deserves to be here as well. So they all. Anyhow, I hope for Lossiemouth's sake, Lossiemouth does it. She's a good mare.
We look forward to seeing what they all can do. Best of luck and congratulations.
Thank you very much. Cheers, guys.
It is a second festival victory. Lossiemouth and Paul Townend have won the Close brothers.
So, Diana Nicholson just presenting that trophy. Was married to David Nicholson, of course, after whom this race is named, and Paul Townend now coming back. I was joking.
Sorry about that.
That's okay, you're fine. You're coming up hard on the rails with your 31 behind just the 97 for Willie. Now tell me, you ran away from me after the Champion Hurdle. I do understand because it's a pressurised day, and you just said to me that Lossiemouth is just as much pressure, if not slightly more than State Man?
Probably not more, but as much anyway. She was a big bullet to fire today. They're all at pressure rides, to be honest. And yeah, I suppose she was a fancy of a lot of people here talking when they thought she couldn't be beaten, and unfortunately we know as well as anyone they can, so it's nice to get it done. Yeah.
You said you never came out of plan A for Gaelic Warrior. How about with Lossiemouth?
Yeah, it wasn't plan A, I suppose. I was a bit further back than I wanted to be, but I was happy there. It was comfortable, and the race fanned out nicely, got a nice clear run around. She was settled, I was happy. She was jumping brilliant. A jump was bringing me in, picking them off as I wanted, and I seen Rachel going well in front of me. I had a target on her back from a long way out.
And did the pace steady up?
It did. It was stop-start a little bit, but I was afraid when they went early, if I went after them and they steadied, would we end up getting keen? And she didn't. She's grown up so much. Like in the Triumph, she got keen at the top of the hill last year, but even when we were here the last day, she didn't. She's a finished article now. She
wasn't really helped by almost taken out of the track by hypotenuse in that race.
That's right. Yeah, it was messy, but she showed how good she was to overcome all them things last year. So she that helped me with confidence of her staying today, I suppose, because she got keen off a strong pace last year and still was able to pull it out.
And Willie said that he had asked you whether you wanted a hood on Lossiemouth, and you said no.
Yeah, creature of habit. I don't really like changing things when they're winning with them. So only I'd ridden her here the last day, I would have considered it a lot more. But I was confident she would settle after the spin I had in her.
Taking you back to State Man, would it be fair to say that was a workmanlike win of the Champion Hurdle, no less? Probably
on ground like that. The second is no slouch, beating Pere past early in the year, and it's hard work out there. It's hard to pick up and go away and fly. But he put it to bed very quickly and was just holding him off then to the line. He's a star, doesn't he?
He's so reliable, that's the thing. And it was a crawl of a race, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I was jacketing me nicely tucked away in a pocket, but I was happy that he was going to be a threat to me, and I was able to follow him away. But that's the joy of riding State Man. Whatever the race way unfolds, he has a little turn of foot that he can get you out of them places, and he jumps brilliant, and he can do it from the front or back. Yeah, I love riding him. It's so simple,
It's so clear the way that you talk about him. 9 Grade 1 wins. It's right that he has his name on the Champion Hurdle trophy.
Yeah, it's not promised to anyone, but he deserves it. I think, being honest. I suppose, I'm biased as well.
Now, you're in the great position of having ridden them both to victory. You'll have been aware of all the chat. Lossiemouth should have run in the Champion Hurdle. How would you compare the two of them? You've ridden them both back to back now. I know over different trips, but what do you think?
They're two very good horses, and I'm obviously glad they stayed apart today because I got in here twice. I think fair play to Rich for going the route they're going with Lossiemouth, because I think it'll pay off in the long run, that she will, thrive on being campaigned scarcely this year and build on it like that. And that's the trail, I suppose, or the privilege Willie has of training for people like that he's allowed to do these things and try them.
But presumably you think she's got all the attributes to win a champion hurdle.
She's very good. She's very good. You don't know till you try, though, do you? So.
I look forward to the decision you have to make. Let's hope there is that you have to make a decision this time next year, as in both seasons.
That the both
the season's gone well, exactly.
Exactly. And we'll see. And we've novices as well to throw in the whole mix. So look, that's what we come out of here thinking every year, but we'll enjoy it while we're here.
Bartley Hill has today just gone as well as you hoped it might.
Yeah, the others won, so it did.
Yeah.
He was very disappointing. I never really felt like I was going to win them, to tell you the truth. For some reason, the only positive to take out is he jumped well.
But it's a good way to start, though, isn't it? Bodes well for the rest of the week.
Hopefully, yeah.
Well, fingers crossed. Best of luck for the rest of the week. Great treble so far. Well done.
Thanks a million. Thank you.
Henry de Bromhead said that all three of his mares had an excellent chance here in the Mares' Hurdle, and I think you've done as well as you possibly could have done up against Lossiemouth, finishing second, third and fourth.
Yeah, it was incredible. They all ran really well. Delighted with them. You know, they're owned by big breeders, and it's brilliant to get the Grade 1 black type for them. So we're delighted. Yeah, absolutely.
And especially with Tell Me Something Girl, given that she had that unfortunate experience in the race a couple of years ago.
Absolutely, yeah. She looked to be going so well that day. But it's brilliant to see her. The way she travelled into the straight, she was really good. And obviously the winner was just very good. Lossiemouth was, all credit to her. She was brilliant.
And how about Hispanic Moon in third?
Brilliant run, owned by the Marigas, and they're, big breeders as well. And again, to get Grade 1 black type, they bought her as a broodmare, and they said they'd chance her. She had good form in France. They said they'd chance her racing this year. Sure, she's been brilliant. She's won a listed, a Grade 3, and now she's placed in a Grade 1. She's been really good. And Lantry is probably the one for the future.
Yeah.
She's I'd say, Tell Me Something Girl will probably be covered this year. And then Hispanic Moon, I'm not sure, but Lantry's one for the future, definitely.
She really is. I know she's finished third of your three, but that's just her third start over hurdles. So
absolutely.
Inexperienced.
Yeah, and Jack said she just got a little bit lost at the start. I'd say, she's probably a 3-mile mare in time, hopefully. So delighted with her. Yeah.
She looks very exciting. Any reflections on Quilixios from the Arkle earlier on?
No, we scoped him, checked his heart, everything fine. Something is amiss, obviously, not sure. So we need to see how he is tomorrow, and then dig deeper after that.
Okay. Was it a deliberate ploy to miss the start? Or?
No, I don't think not to miss it. No, but we thought we'd follow. We thought there was going to be more pace. And funny, Heather, my wife, said maybe he loved it at Naas, just bouncing out in front, and maybe we got it wrong.
Maybe it is, but we'll see him again. And
hopefully.
Good luck with him, and many congratulations here.
Yeah, thanks a million. Delighted.
It's Lark in the morning, and JJ Slevin clear and go on to win.
JJ7 has teamed up again with Joseph O'Brien to win a second Fred Winter, his third in total of festival successes. This with Lark in the morning. Many congratulations. Joseph was just saying there was a big debate about whether or not to run with all the rain that had fallen. Was that playing in your mind at all?
Yeah, big time. Obviously he kind of got stuck in the ground at home all winter, and probably didn't perform to his best. So we were worried coming here, and I got a spin around on Colonel Mustard earlier, and just after that I thought it wasn't as bad as probably had walked. So because Cheltenham, we had to kind of let him take his chance if we could at all.
Yeah, so that gave you some encouragement to go.
It did, because Colonel Mustard is probably a nice ground horse, and he ran very adequately, finished 5th, so he coped with it. So we were more than happy to take a chance then.
And did you pick your spot on the way around with that in mind?
Yeah, Joseph did say it to me. He said to be patient and maybe try and stay out a bit, try and grab some sort of fresh ground, and that's what we tried to do anyway.
It must be difficult, because you presumably you had quite some confidence in this horse. He seemed to have so much the right profile for the race. He's got such good flat form as well. He'd been laid out with this aim in mind, and then the rain comes. It could have been frustrating.
Yeah, sure, it could have been, but you look at Joseph was always of the opinion if you can take your chance at all, take it, and it served him well in the past, and it worked out well today.
It's a tremendous team that he sent over, despite not having a huge number of jump sources in the yard.
Yeah, for sure. We have plenty of quality there, and he does a good job with them. So, when he has the ones that can go, he sends them over. So let's hope for the best.
Difficult conversations as well about Bandridge ahead, I would have thought, aren't there, ground-wise?
Very much so. I thought the chase track rode slower than the hurdle track.
Really?
So yeah, I thought it rode a good bit slower. So just have to hope that nothing falls out of the sky between now and Thursday.
Yeah, and I suppose we are moving track as well, so at least you won't have a day's racing on it.
For sure, we'll have fresh ground there again, and sure, hopefully it won't be as slow,
Okay, well, many congratulations, well done.
Thank you.
In 2019, this race provided Joseph O'Brien with his first festival success in his own name with Band of Outlaws. Now he's won it again with Lark in the Morning, his fourth festival success 5 years later. Many congratulations. Were you worried about the rain that had fallen here for this horse?
Yeah, we were, Lydia. We were very worried. Had a pretty strong view that he probably wanted better ground to be seen to best effect, but I thought JJ gave him a fantastic ride. He found the best of the ground, the freshest of the ground all the way around, and he had plenty in the locker jumping the last, pricked his ears. Delighted for Sean, Paddy, for Nadine and for JJ to have a winner here this week is very special.
Absolutely. And apart from the ground concern, did you feel everything was right in terms of what you need for a winner of this race?
Yeah, we thought that he was coming here with a real life chance, but obviously so much rain fell last night that we actually had a conversation whether we'd run or not, but we decided to run, and luckily.
Good thing you did. Maybe he's more versatile than you thought.
Yeah, no, he seemed to handle it well, so yeah.
And I must ask you about Banbridge, because obviously you've talked about the ground for him as well. There's more rain, it seems, forecast this week. Is he going to run in the Ryan? Are you going to take your chance?
We'd like to run, yeah. We'd like to run if we can. I'll walk the track Thursday morning, then we'll discuss with Ronnie and make a decision then.
Okay, well, congratulations. Well done. You're on the board.
Thanks, Lydia.
Thank you.
But it's a question of how far for Corbett's Cross and Derek O'Connor, who win the Maureen Mullins National Hunt Challenge Cup by a very wide margin.
Corbett's Cross has just won the Maureen Mullins National Hunt Chase. It's a fifth festival success for Derek O'Connor, third in this race. Congratulations. That was actually a very, very good performance, wasn't it?
It was a super performance. Emmett has done a wonderful job. He has prepared them to perfection. We had a mishap in Fairyhouse, and I had to take the blame. I made a decision during the race to go into a gap that closed on me, and we had a mishap. So it was a bad preparation, and it was my fault. But Emmett has recouped everything, and he's turned him out here in great shape. Yeah.
Emmett was saying that the signs were there with the schooling session that he did. Were you on board that day?
Yeah, that was very pleasing. Yeah, right. That was very pleasing. Last Thursday morning, I think it was, and it was just like what you've seen today. It was beautiful to watch.
And did he school in the hood as well?
He schooled in the hood. I'm not sure what the reasoning for the hood was, maybe to get him to relax while he's racing, but it all helped the performance today. As we've seen, it was brilliant, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was. Talk me through the race from your perspective and how it went.
Sure, it was a very simple race with a small field like that, with a great bunch of riders and horses with a lot of experience. Let it be a novice. Because of the criteria to get into the race, you have to have ran over the trip and completed on a certain amount of times, and then the riders have to have a certain amount of experience. So it's a better quality race than it used to be, and it's of a higher standard of horses and jockeys. So it's actually a very, very good race today. And the race went seamlessly. Yeah.
Well, this could be a springboard to proper Grade 1 chases for this winner, don't you think?
Well, it's not for me to say, but I think that was a very good performance.
It felt quality to you?
Absolutely, top draw. Yeah.
You've got a really good book of rides at the festival. You have, haven't you, though? I know the way you're thinking, and also with it's on the line.
They're nice, but come here, today was important to get us off to a good note, so whatever happens. We'll take this today, and whatever happens the rest of the week will happen.
Okay, well, best of luck for the rest of the week. Well done here, Derek.
Thank you. Thank you.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.